Have you ever had a gut feeling like something bad was going to happen? What if that feeling wasn't just a hunch? The premise. What if you knew exactly how and when you were going to die? Sounds like something out of a horror movie, right? But in today's video, we're diving into 10 chilling real-life stories of people who predicted their own deaths with eerie accuracy. Stick around till the end, because the last one, it might just give you goosebumps. Abraham Lincoln, the president who dreamed of his own tragic end. Lincoln's dream. A few days before his tragic assassination, President Abraham Lincoln confided in his wife and close friends about a haunting dream. In it, he wandered the silent halls of the White House until he reached the East Room, where a coffin lay surrounded by grieving soldiers and mourners. When he asked, "Who is dead in the White House?" a soldier solemnly replied, "The president. He was killed by an assassin." The aftermath. Lincoln awoke shaken but dismissed it as just a strange dream, yet only days later he was shot in the head by John Wilkes Booth while attending a play at Ford's Theater. He died the next morning. Was this merely a coincidence or a chilling premonition of his own death? Number 2 is Mark Twain. The Comet and the Curse. Twain and Halley's Comet. Mark Twain, one of America's greatest writers and humorists, was born in 1835, the very year Halley's Comet streaked across the sky. Throughout his life, Twain was fascinated by the comet and often spoke of it with a strange sense of connection. He once remarked, "I came in with Halley's Comet in 1835. It is coming again next year, and I expect to go out with it." The prophecy fulfilled. It sounded like a poetic joke, until it came true. Halley's Comet returned in 1910, lighting up the skies once more. And the very next day, Twain passed away. To him, it wasn't chance. He believed his life was cosmically linked to the comet, a mysterious farewell written in the stars. Number 3 is Tupac Shakur. Lyrics turned into prophecy. Tupac's preoccupation with death. Tupac Shakur wasn't just a rapper, he was a poet, a prophet, and a voice of a generation. Throughout his short but powerful life, he spoke openly about death, as if he sensed it was always near. In interviews he would say things like, "I don't think I'll make it past 25. Prophetic lyrics and death. And in his lyrics he eerily rapped, "I've been shot and murdered. Can't tell you how it happened, word for word." His music was filled with warnings, reflections, and a strange, calm acceptance of his fate. Then, in 1996, at just 25 years old, Tupac was shot in a drive-by in Las Vegas. He died days later. It was more than a coincidence. It was a tragic prophecy fulfilled in real life. Number 4 is David Booth. In May of 1979, David Booth, an ordinary man from Ohio, began experiencing a nightmare that haunted him night after night. For 10 evenings in a row, he saw the same terrifying vision, a large jetliner taking off, then violently exploding mid-air, consumed by flames. Unable to shake the fear, he did something rare. He contacted the FAA, desperately warning them that something terrible was about to happen. But what could they do? It was just a dream. Then, on May 25th, American Airlines Flight 191 crashed moments after takeoff from Chicago O'Hare. All 271 people on board died instantly. The explosion, the moment, the horror. It was exactly what he saw. Was it a coincidence, a psychic warning, or something far more unexplainable and terrifying? Number 5 is Pete Maravic. Pete Maravic was more than just an NBA star. He was a basketball magician, known for his dazzling moves and electrifying style of play. But behind the brilliance was a chilling statement he once made during an interview. "I don't want to play 10 years in the NBA and die of a heart attack at 40. It sounded like an offhand comment, maybe even a joke, but it wasn't. Pete played exactly 10 years in the league, and then, while playing a casual pickup game years later, he suddenly collapsed. A heart attack. He died instantly. He had no known heart conditions, no warning signs. He was exactly 40. It was as if he spoke his fate into existence, and fate listened. Number 6 is William Thomas Stead, a journalist, a writer, a Titanic ship passenger, a man seemingly haunted by the specter of maritime disaster. In 1886, he penned a fictional tale, a chilling narrative of a passenger ship, woefully unprepared, meeting its demise in the icy depths. A lack of lifeboats, the story's tragic flaw, mirrored a chilling reality years later. Steed, a man who dared to imagine the unthinkable, found himself aboard the RMS Titanic in 1912. A ship much like the one from his story deemed unsinkable, but fate, it seemed, had other plans. The Titanic, on its maiden voyage, struck an iceberg. Chaos ensued, and just as Steed had envisioned, there were not enough lifeboats. He perished with the ship, his fictional warning echoing in the real-life tragedy. A chilling premonition, a glimpse into the future, or merely a cruel twist of fate. We may never know for sure, but William Stead's story serves as a haunting reminder of the power of premonition and the fragility of life itself. Number 7 is Frank Pastori, a radio host, who predicted his own death. Pastor's dark humor. Frank was a well-known radio host with a sharp sense of humor, often joking about the dangers of life. During one live show, he casually quipped, "All it takes is some idiot to pull in front of me and I'll be toast." Tragic fate. It was a throwaway line, the kind of dark humor people laugh off. But hours later, as he was riding his motorcycle home, a car unexpectedly cut him off. The crash was instant and violent. Frank never regained consciousness. The world lost a voice that day. But what made the loss even more haunting was the eerie connection between his joke and his tragic fate. Was it just a grim coincidence? Or did his words somehow summon the very fate he spoke of? Number 8 is Jim Morrison, a man who prepared for the end at 27. Morrison's preoccupation with death. Jim Morrison, the enigmatic frontman of The Doors, was a man who lived on the edge, both in his music and his poetry. Throughout his life, he openly grappled with the idea of death, often hinting that it was a companion just around the corner. Morrison's prediction in death. In one of his more haunting statements, he told friends, "I see myself dying in a bathtub in Paris." It seemed like a morbid thought, a poetic line born from his turbulent soul. But in 1971, Jim Morrison's life came to a tragic and eerie end. He was found dead in a bathtub in Paris, just as he had foreseen. At 27, the world lost one of its most brilliant and tortured icons. Was it fate, or did his words somehow carve his path to death? Number 9 is Bagat Singh, a young man ablaze with the fire of revolution. He fought for India's independence, not with guns and swords alone, but with a spirit that knew no bounds. From a tender age, he spoke of his own mortality, not with fear, but with the resolute conviction of a man who had accepted his destiny. His words, etched in letters to his comrades, resonated with the unwavering belief in his cause. "My life's goal is to awaken a nation, even if it costs my life." He envisioned a free India, a vision for which he was willing to pay the ultimate price. At the age of 23, his fight for freedom was met with the brutal reality of colonial rule. He was executed, his life seemingly cut short. But Bagat Singh's death was not the end. It was the spark that ignited a nation's yearning for liberation. His sacrifice became a symbol of resistance, his name whispered with reverence by those who dared to dream of a free India. Bagat Singh's legacy lived on, his prophecy fulfilled, as India ultimately broke free from the shackles of oppression. Number 10 is Carl Jung. Embracing the final passage. Carl Jung, a pioneer in the exploration of the human psyche. He delved into the depths of the subconscious, unearthing the hidden landscapes of dreams and archetypes. But even as he explored the mysteries of the human mind, he seemed to possess an uncanny understanding of his own mortality. In the twilight of his years, a sense of serenity washed over him. He confided in his closest companions, his voice devoid of fear, only a quiet acceptance of the inevitable. "My time is over," he wrote in his journal, the words imbued with a sense of peace. "I am ready." He spoke of a feeling, a gentle pull from beyond the veil of the material world. A world he had spent his life trying to understand, now beckoned him with open arms. On June 6, 1961, surrounded by the tranquility of nature, Carl Jung breathed his last. He passed peacefully, in the quiet sanctuary of his sleep. It was a fitting end for a man who had dedicated his life to unraveling the complexities of the human experience. He embraced death not as an end, but as a natural transition, a final journey into the unknown. If you found these stories as chilling as I did, make sure to smash that like button, hit subscribe, and tap the bell icon so you never miss out on the next unsettling tale. Stay tuned. See you in the next video. Thank you for watching.